Hello BrewTubers, Stiffo here, hope you're all doing amazingly well. I couldn't really miss the opportunity to take up Sarah and Graham's 28-day challenge, could I? It would feel a little bit rude of me if I didn't take part. Bearing in mind that this particular Facebook group was the thing that springboarded my homebrewing journey and was massively influential and helped me actually do what I do now for work. So this is a little bit of a thank you to BrewTube and all the people that played a part along the way. I'm going to be brewing at home, which isn't something I do a huge amount these days because I'm always brewing at work, so I don't tend to do quite as much brewing at home. But I've still got a brewery set up, which I'll give you a little tour of. It's a bit ramshackled, but it's coming together. It's a little bit of a work in progress, and I'll talk to you about the recipe we're going to be brewing. Right, squad, this is my little home brewing space under our house. Like I said, it's a bit of a work in progress, but I have my trusty Grainfather G30 that I've had for quite a while now, which I'm going to be brewing on today. Sparge water heater. It's loosely based on the systems we have at work. I have a little comfy bench to sit on and lay all my kit out on, and some storage underneath for it. And then if we whiz round, I've got my 2 fermenters and my glycol chiller there, and there's a few bits and pieces. The plan is that over this side is all going to be clad as well with recycled pallet wood and tidied up as well to match what we've got going on over here. Okay, so this is the fermenter that this current brew is destined for. Over here, I've got another fermenter which is currently conditioning a lager, which is using the Viaman Asaria malt, Nova Lager, a little bit of Carapils and a little bit of Melanoidin malt, and 100% SARS throughout. For anybody that knows my my particular beer styles of preference, then they'll know that wonderful crispy lagers are definitely up there. So that was brewed about a month ago. I'm planning on kegging that today if I get the time, and set it into the kegerator to condition a little bit longer. As you can see, head height is a little bit of a challenge in here, but it's fine because I'm quite short and I don't have any hair. But anyway, we're going to be brewing today our clone of Beavertown's neck oil, which is called Oil for the Neck. It's a fantastic recipe. It's kind of like a really good weekday beer or session beer. It comes in at like 4.1%, and it's a wonderful one to have on keg because, you know, midweek you can have 1 or 2 and not feel like you're being too naughty, and at the weekend you can get through quite a few in the afternoon and still, you know, enjoy the rest of the evening. The grist for this recipe is super simple. We've got some lager malt from Crisp making up the bulk of the recipe, and then a little bit of dextrin malt in there as well, just to leave a little bit of residual sweetness, and some head retention. The yeast we're going to be using is US-05, super simple, no frills, everybody knows what it does, super reliable. And in the boil, we're just going to be using, I think it's 10 grams of Columbus, just to hit that bittering that we need. What really brings this recipe to life is the dry hop combination, and there's a whole host of hops that go into the dry hop, which I'll come on to later. But without further ado, let's get doughed in. So that's the mash on. We have a 60-minute mash at 67 degrees, and then we've got a 10-minute mash out at 75. My sparge water's heating up. I had 15.5 litres of strike water in the Grainfather, and I've got 16.5 litres of sparge water in the sparge water heater. Mash is done, both steps complete. It's time to pull the malt pipe out and start the sparge. I've got 16.5 litres of sparge water ready to rock and roll at 75 degrees C. So let's get this sorted. Okay, sparge is pretty much done. I'm going to take the opportunity to make a cup of coffee whilst the sparge water is draining through and the grain fathers are heating up. But I also wanted to take the chance to just talk to you about the dry hop and whirlpool additions. So there's only 10 grams of Columbus going in at the start of boil to drive the bitterness. That's it in terms of kind of boil additions. We've got a fairly big whirlpool hit going in, and I'll be chilling the work down to 80C before adding that. And we've got 36 grams of Simcoe, Columbus and Centennial going in. Those are going to be going in, as I said, at 80 degrees C. I'm going to be whirlpooling for at least 15 minutes before I start transferring into the fermenter, because I want to get the most out of them as possible. Something I've been really working on recently is that contact time for whirlpool hops before they're being transferred, before the work's being transferred over into the fermenter. Once the beer's finished fermenting, there's a dry hop which goes in, and that's 54 grams of Mosaic and 54 grams of Amarillo. Now, you can choose to put this in after 3 days of fermentation, so you get a bit of the kind of biotransformation and contact between the yeast during active fermentation, or as I prefer to do, which is leave it until the very end of fermentation and then put it in. For me, that's my personal preference. I've done this beer a few times now, and that's how I enjoy it. We're going to be fermenting with USO5. We're going to be fermenting at around 19 degrees C. It's going to probably take about 7 days maximum to finish out, because we are targeting a fairly low starting gravity of 1041. Finishing gravity is going to be about 1010, 10.9. So like I said, it's probably going to be about 4.1% this beer once it's done. Time to weigh out my water additions that I'm going to add to the boil. It's really simple this, 4 grams of gypsum and 4.7 grams of Epsom salt. Obviously that's going to vary depending on your water at home, but for me, I'm going for like a classic kind of pale ale water profile. And again, this has worked really well for me. So do what works for you to hit that water profile, or do you know what? Don't worry about it. The other thing that's going in is 10 grams of Columbus. Massively underrated hop, I think, not used enough. And that's going to be being used for my boil addition, but then we've also got some of this going in whirlpool as well. Top tip for anybody that uses these little put-in pots for weighing out your additions: Pringle lids fit perfectly on the top, make them stackable. So I wanted to talk a little bit about why I've chosen to do this, as part of this 28-day challenge that's been set out by Sarah and Graham. The BrewTube Facebook group and the associated videos that people were putting out back in like 2017, 2018, when I started brewing beer, were hugely influential on me and a massive support. The BrewTube Facebook group kind of went through the awkward split where there was BrewTube official and the other one, and it all got a bit messy. But actually, the Facebook group that rose from the ashes was absolutely fantastic. Folks like Sarah, Steve, Matthew, Matt, Rusty, all of these people that were putting out content and creating a space that was really safe for people to ask questions and learn, made a big difference for me. That encouraged me to put videos out, which led to obviously what I do now. So I'm really grateful for that Facebook group and the support it showed. Now, what I wanted to do here was make a video with none of the resources that are available to me through what I do for work. So I'm just using my phone, no microphones, no decent cameras, lenses, no lights, none of that kind of stuff. It's literally just me and my iPhone. I'm gonna try and edit all of this on my phone and upload it to YouTube as well, because I want to show that at the heart of it, what it's all about is sharing knowledge and information and encouraging more people to make beer, make videos, showing their mistakes, showing the successes, and pushing people forward with the hobby, because it's a fantastic hobby and a great community of people. Time to get the malt pipe off. We are at 97 degrees. That's been sat there trickling through. Just going to pop that into a bucket, collect any last little bits that come off. I'm going to add my boil additions now in terms of the water treatment stuff. Get that in. Get that stirred through as well. Hop breakers starting to form up nicely. I'm going to keep a close eye on this as it does so that I can get my hops in just before the hop rate goes over. Right, that's my 10 grams of Columbus gone in at 99 degrees C, just because I'm just coming up to a boil. Hop rate's just starting to go over. Wanted to get them in to just help prevent a boil over. No fancy extraction here in the basement at Stiff Towers, so it's all down to the fan to get the steam out through the doors. Works a treat. Anyway, I think this is something that Timmy Jenkins did quite a lot in his brew shed. Anyone know if he's still brewing? Haven't seen him for a while. Right, boil's done. I am now chilling my work down to 80 degrees ahead of the whirlpool additions. Being a good boy, trying to collect some of my water to clean with as well. Always comes in handy afterwards. I've also cleaned and sanitized my fermenter, ready to go. So I will see you in a minute when we have the hops. Whirlpool additions, 36 grams, Simcoe, Centennial and Columbus, all going in. I'm going to give that a really good wazz around with the old paddle, and then I'm going to leave that for a good 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes contact time. Like I said, it's all about trying to get as much contact time as possible with these whirlpool hops, in my opinion, because in a professional brewery, the runoff time from the kettle into the fermenter, or the whirlpool vessel into the fermenters, you know, that's going to take a hell of a long time. So they get a lot more contact time than we do in our small kits. So always, in my opinion, try and do your whirlpool for as long as possible. Things are smelling rather lush now. The whirlpool is done, and I'm starting to transfer the work from the grain father into the fermenter. Probably time to take a gravity reading, see how we got on. Okay, so I've taken a gravity reading and it's at 1044, which I'm really pleased with. I was aiming for 1041, but that would have given me 23 litres of finished beer. I only have 19 litre kegs, so if it's a little bit stronger, hey, I'm not fussed about that. I'll still get a full corny keg out of it. The colour is really, really good, super pale, everything I was hoping for. I'll put a bit of closer B-roll over this so you can have a look at it and see what you think. Really, all that's left to do now is finish getting it transferred and then get cleaning up. Right, my brew day's done. I've got all the work in the fermenter, yeast's been pitched, I'm at 19 degrees, everything's good to go. I will post some photos, maybe even a little review video once the beer's finished fermenting and has been dry hopped and carbonated and all that jazz, so everybody knows how it's going. I just want to say this has been thoroughly enjoyable and really, really good fun making this video today. Please, everybody out there that's part of the Facebook group, jump on the wagon. You know, the 28-day challenge is great fun, I think, and encourage more and more people to share their knowledge and their ideas for homebrewing recipes, or encouraging others, or sharing their mistakes, whatever it may be. Get on, keep going. It's awesome to see. Other than that, nothing much else to say other than thank you very much, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye.